Our next guest is a gospel singer, historian, and educator with a voice and a presence that demand attention. She captures the hearts and minds of people across our state and region who've witnessed her chronicle the history of the civil rights movement through song. Professor Craig Werner from the University of Wisconsin-Madison stated, "When you listen to Mary Williams, you're hearing the voice of a great singer, but you're also hearing the voices of the elders and the ancestors who signed their names in blood." Please join me in welcoming Mary Williams, Mary D. Williams.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. I'm so glad that you could join us today.
I am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course, of course. And I was telling Lenora Zenzele Helm was on earlier, and similar to her, I had heard your music through the Come Here and See project first, and so wanted to reach out to you and see if you could join us. So
yeah, I was glad I was able to. I had a little issue this morning, and I thought I was gonna miss the opportunity, but I'm so grateful that I'm here and with you all and excited about what you all are doing.
Thank you so much. So I know, and I've kind of discussed this with some of the artists who were on previous to you. I know that COVID-19 has definitely had an impact on performers. How would you say that's had an impact on kind of your work right now?
Well, it's been a change. I'll use that adjective, if I may, to describe it. When you're with people and you're singing, there's so much energy and there is such a drive. And when you're in a public space with people, there's nothing like it. I can't really equate it to anything. It's the closest thing to heaven that I know of. Mm-hmm. So it's been a change, whereas I'm doing things like I'm doing with you today, still sharing the gift, still talking about these issues and the times in which we live. And of course, the music that I perform is most appropriate for this time in which we're living in. Sure. So I'm using, just a different medium, which is again, a challenge because I'm not with people. We're not able to have that camaraderie that you have in an open space. Mm-hmm. But we're making do, as all of us are, to try to continue and try to make things as normal as possible and stay connected.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, because you miss that sort of energy. There's an energy, whether it's an outdoor space or even or a smaller concert, but that energy that you have when there's people there, you do lose it. You can't get quite as much of it over the computer screen. I mean, it's there. You don't feel it as much. I don't guess.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's I've talked to people all the time when I perform. Even when it comes to programming, sometimes people will ask me, "Mary, what are you going to perform?" But the beauty of being with a live audience is that they can kind of dictate to you how it should go, what they're ready to receive, how that they will interact with the songs that I have the opportunity to share. So that's one thing I really miss, because the way that I perform is very participatory. I'm not just a solo artist performing, but it becomes this beautiful community, and we get to share in this experience at the same time. And when I share songs.
Yeah, no, definitely. I could see how that would make a difference, because
it does
end up going in a direction that you didn't even know, but that's what the audience and that's what you and everyone sort of need in that moment. That's sort of the direction that it's heading in. So
exactly.
So definitely, it's definitely a little more challenging now. And of course, now I'm going to still ask you, I mean, what do you have what's in your spirit today to sing?
Okay. Well, I actually just, someone just sent me a clip of some work that I had done at Winthrop University. So I'm just going to do a little bit of that. It comes from a very old spiritual where it talks about John, and John says, "I'm going to walk in Jerusalem." And when the enslaved talked about Jerusalem or Canaan land, they were alluding to freedom. They were talking about changing the direction. And in slavery particularly, they always use these particular biblical cities and stories to really talk about what freedom meant to them. It was in their heads, it was in their heart, and the only way that they could actually express themselves were through these songs that had veiled messages. And so this song talks about, I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem, just like John. But and then during the civil rights movement, it completely changed. So I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready, children. I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem, just like John. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready, children. I wanna be ready to walk in Jerusalem, just like John. But during the civil rights movement, they changed the words lyrically, and they began to sing as they marched down the streets in Birmingham and other places in the South. They began to sing, I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready, children. I want to be ready, because we're marching for freedom, just like John. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready, children. I want to be ready. We're marching for freedom, just like John.
Sorry, I mute. Oh, well, that moved me here. I don't know if you could feel it. And Will is watching. I was over here. I want to have my hand up. Will's got her hand up.
Okay.
Such a blessing.
Thank you.
Such a blessing. And if, oh, my son just ran in.
That was really good.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
No, I mean, it's just,
children are always so honest.
that's the thing. They are. And I can tell you some stories if we weren't live streaming. Oh my goodness. No, that was powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And what we normally do is that in the audience, they get to, have that moment with us. We have it together.
Yeah.
And it's just always amazing, because we're building this community, and this is the reflection of what we want to be when we leave the doors, wherever it may be, an auditorium, a library, it doesn't matter. But when we leave those doors, we want to be what we were in that room, where we all came together. And music has that kind of power.
Right. Yeah, you want to take that transformation and take it to the street.
Yes.
For sure. Oh man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if folks want to hear some more and learn some more, where could they head to?
You can always look at my website. It's actually being worked on. It's still up, so it's not down. It's up. There's my music is there. You can also order my music from my website, and just excited about the times in which we live, and hopefully we're all going to be using what comes up out of our folklore experience, because that's African American folklore, to make a difference in this world. There's a reason that we were given the power of voice, the power of song, and it's so useful. It can calm you when you need to be calmed. It can, if you're crying about something, it's so beautiful that it doesn't give you permission. It's so beautiful that if you are sad about something, if you hear a happy song, it literally changes the whole dynamic of what you're experiencing in that moment. So, yeah, marydwilliams.com.
Excellent. Oh man, that's the thing right now. I think for everybody is just that, I think that the hardest thing, well, there's so many things that are hardest things, so it's probably not the right thing to say the hardest thing, but just the power of communal music right now.
Yes.
Because that's what gets you through all the different trials. And
it does. It contributes to every aspect of your life. And I think that's one of the main things that I teach my students is that's what, even during slavery, that's why the music was so important. That's why it was so important during the movement. It kept people together. It brought them together. It made them feel like a unit in some very dangerous times. It covered them. It blanketed them. And so it was something that they all had in common that they could hold on to. And you didn't have to be able to sing, you didn't have to be a vocalist, but it was just what made them a community. So it was just this vital to survival.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
My goodness. Well, I'm so glad again that you were able to come on. I was delighted to hear this morning that you were going to be able to make it after all. So I was
Yes.
and what a gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank-
All the best to you.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right.